Okay guys, I am starting the videotape. Let me tell you, I'm doing it right here. I'm speaking and looking in. I'm seeing that I can see the image on the screen right now, what I'm filming. But once I step out into this sunlight, I really don't know what it's looking like, but I'm just gonna wing it. So basically, what you had here was this whole area here that we're looking at one point when I first moved here, it was nothing but trees. Nothing. Like, see over in that area, it's still part of the property. They didn't plow down all of the trees, but a huge portion. And so when you go up a little ways up there, just past those trees, it was a field that they used to have crops in. Like sometimes it would be, I think, cotton, and then the next year something else. But, okay, I was going to try to find the actual spot. So this is what's going on, is that I used to bring my dog Ladybird over here. This is before, a few years ago, they plowed down a bunch of the trees and cleared it off. And me and her would walk off into this little wooded area, and I'd let her run around in the woods, and then they plowed down a lot of it. So before it was all grown up again like this, besides a few of the bigger trees that they didn't mow down, basically I'd come over here and all this was kind of, other than the few trees standing, but all these things here hadn't grown back up yet. There wasn't a bunch of grass. This was the winter time when I was over here. Actually there was bigger piles. They just recently started burning off a bunch of the huge piles of trees and stuff that were piled up. They've done that a few weeks ago or in the past month. And they'd be burning at night, or the little tractor would be over here moving. But my point is, so I can't get to around the exact area, but I know see where that big tree is? If you come back this way a little ways, somewhere between that tree and before it gets dirt over there, where I'm going to go back to continue filming, it was a spot that I had walked by many a times with Ladybird, or letting her off the leash and me just walking around. I'd walked over there quite a bit. I've been over here on this property quite a bit, but then after a while I stopped coming over here so much. But you can see this is where a bunch, like all these piles that are really not that big no more, they were huge piles of just trees they plowed down and everything. And then it goes on over that way a little ways. But also, what I was telling y'all in some of my lead up to this, like these posts I made yesterday and the day before, or whenever, I think it was yesterday when I finally revealed an idea that I'm working on. There was so much well, there still is. It's probably just piled and buried under a lot of dirt here. But when you'd wander off into these trees before they ever plowed them down, I'd found out after I'd moved here that this is where, in this local area, I don't know if it was an official dump site or just where everybody in the country came and dumped everything, but I would come over here and just explore around, and they had all kinds of scrap. Like, I would pull certain pieces of metal out of the ground and stuff and take it back with me because I was scrapping a lot then. Okay, and so, well, let me turn back around for a second and show you. What I'm going to do is just have the few figures I wanted to bring. But, we'll get to the story in a second, more of the story. But there was a lot of stuff. Like, you would find old bottles, like Listerine bottles that were glass, and Clorox bottles that were glass. That tells you how far back at some point people started dumping and were dumping. Now, I don't know how long it's been since they stopped letting any dumping be here. It had obviously been quite a while. But let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to do this all in one take, guys, because I just be honest with you. Before I came over here. Okay, now, here we go, and I think you'll be able to see me. You should be able to see me well enough, I think. Hopefully it looks good when I get done. But I have an issue, like you've probably heard me say many times already. I'm working with this Joy tablet number 2 or something, an Alcatel tablet that I've had almost 2 years through Metro by T-Mobile. I'm way overdue for an upgrade, but when I tried to upgrade back, I think at the end of the year, I had it all set up on the phone with the actual Metro service line people, not the store that when you go in there, if you do anything, they charge you a service fee if you're trying to pay your... But I had it set up supposedly in the system where I could go in there the day I got paid, explain it to them, they could pull it up and it'd all be done. And I would have got a tablet for free, added back a phone line, and got another phone for free because I was going to bring my neighbor Betty into the plan. And it was a cluster F-U-C-K. You know what I mean? It was just stupid because those people pulled 2 tablets out of the back that were like gonna cost me full price on one of them, and then the other one still is gonna be close to $200 when I was told the week before it would be free. So I just said screw, you know, I ended up not doing any business there, and it's best the way it is. But let's get on with it. So this action figure, as you'll see, and you've seen in the pictures, is this action figure, you know, it's an Empire Strikes Back Snow Trooper. And I remember I remember the Christmas that I got a Snow Trooper. Not only did I get a Snow Trooper, but I had it. My mom was awesome, you know. I don't know about y'all, but when she said the way Santa came to my house was when you woke up in the morning, the things that Santa brought, they weren't in a box and wrapped. You woke up, it was set up. It was ready to be played with. So if you woke up because the parents knew that you were probably going to be up before them, everything was ready to go. You didn't have to wait for them. And my mom, I remember that morning I woke up at Christmas, I had an AT-AT, a Snow Trooper. I had you remember the Rebel snow base, and it came with the probe droid, and you hit it and it falls off, and I had that, and it was all set up so awesome, you know. And so basically a few years ago, it was winter. This was after they had plowed this out, and then during the summer or the warm weather, I was coming over here letting everybody around. But this was during some really cold time. I was still trying to keep up with letting the dog coming over at least a few times a week and let the dog run around. But let's just say I was heavily in my drinking. I was heavily in, I don't know if I was doing any hard drugs or not at the time, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, I was heavily drinking. But on the actual day of finding this figure, man, I had not had any alcohol, and I think I'd probably been without for a few days, and probably more than likely I had no money. I don't even know what day it was that I was over here and found it, but I was depressed. I was feeling like I was just always alone, that I had no friends. Which is a big lie that, for me, I'll speak just for my personal experience. I have told myself that over the years plenty of times when I knew it was a lie, that there were people that cared about me. There were people that even if I was unaware about it, that they cared for me generally. But I was just over here with Lady Bird and letting her run around and just walking around and kind of exploring the place. And I happened, like I said, I stepped over a spot I've probably walked by 1,000,000 times, but this was after like a few days before there had been a rain or something. So you know how ground moves, like its ground had loosened up, it had moved and everything. And I'm walking, and one of these feet one of these feet were sticking out of the ground. You couldn't really tell what the figure was. And I remember looking down and going, whoa, that's a toy. And in my mind, I figured it wasn't gonna be anything like that I even remotely knew. I thought it was some generic toy or a part or a piece of a toy, not a whole actual complete toy. But when I pulled, it was bare like this much in the, like you had one foot sticking out and the rest of it was still underneath some ground. So I reached down, pulled it out, and oh my God. And oh my God is right. Whether you believe in it or not, you don't have to, but I hope you enjoy this video. This is not, I'm not trying to preach to nobody, but I want to tell you, my spirit was lifted that day. Like, it was like the Spirit told me there's hope. Just because you feel like you're lost, you feel like you're alone, and you know you're suffering in your active addiction to alcohol and whatever else you may be doing. I don't want this to be a depressing video, but I told y'all it's about toys, but it's also me telling you the story and how I felt that day. Because I know a lot of people that are watching me. No, I'm not some big channel or nothing, but it's growing pretty dang quickly, and I appreciate everybody that's watching. I appreciate everybody commenting, liking. I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. I see that I'm on the right path. I'm doing something good. And, but I just felt so delighted that, man, I found, and man, and my first thought was, this can't be. Surely it's not an actual 1980s one. I was thinking, but what are the odds that it would have been like one that they put back out? I mean, looking at it, I knew it wasn't from Power of the Force. Well, you know, I went home, got my glasses on, and looked, and yes, it's from like, I believe this figure came out in 81. Correct me if I'm right or wrong. It might have actually, see, I don't have glasses with me. But I had posted it, a picture of it, and just mistakenly said the wrong year without looking. I was like, I think this came out in 1980. Somebody else told me what year they believed it was, and oh crap! You would think I would have looked at it and made sure, but you get the point. It came out a year earlier. Like in my picture, I had said I believe this is from 80 so and so. Somebody else said no, I think that came in the year before it came out. Like, you know, the figure probably released. It might have released before the movie. I'm sure that happened. I think at that point they were already pushing stuff out leading up to the premiere. But I remember just knowing then, even though I was in a dark place, that I'm still on to something. I still have a goal. And this past year has been an awesome year for me. I've been working on my sobriety, and as you know, I've messed up twice, and each time it wasn't nothing new. Nothing has changed. But what I want to offer to you guys today is keep your head up, man. And especially my friends that have YouTube toy channels here, and you're building your stations and stuff. Keep it up. You inspire me. Every single one of you. A few months ago, I was kind of getting down on myself again and thinking that I was in some kind of competition and that, you know, I ain't doing enough toy stuff. I ain't building on my station enough. But you know whose fault that is? That's mine. And I'm owning it today. That's why last week I said Tuesdays and Thursdays will be the days that something will come out based on a toy or a comic book or some type of pop culture at least. It's going to be dealing with something I collect or actually have read or interested in. Something fun. So I want to say to all of you guys, Fatback, Sky Bottom, Rad Toys, Toy Domination, Lockdown Productions. There's a channel that I don't watch a lot of his videos anymore, but Scallywags. I'm going to send you a copy of this just because I've mentioned in you. You know, man, you know my struggles. I can't name all of you guys because I can't remember. Everybody on Instagram, people that have channels, but I love you guys. And I know it ain't a competition because I'll get it done in due time, but I'm doing more work than I've done in a long time on what I'm doing. And my ultimate goal is that once I have a fully, what I consider to be operational station where I can show it off and set up things more often. And because right now I'm still just in the early days where you see when I post pictures of anything I'm doing or a small video, it's really just me coming up with a concept, setting it up, and just rolling with it, saying, because I'm brainstorming. I kind of am building ideas for when I get my first real structures set. And I'm like, okay, that's the way it's going to be for a little while, at least until I figure out something that I like better or whatever. You know how it goes. So I'm going to try to end it here. I don't know how long this has been, but hopefully this is going to go good. And what I was saying is I was going to try to do like videotape several different portions of this and then splice it all together. And dude, because I have this cheap kind of tablet, I can probably do this stuff in the Google Photo app that I have, and I think I have the ability to do that, but it seems to me that it'll be made a little more tedious and time consuming than I want to be. So hopefully my goal before the end of the year, I actually wanted to have a laptop by now. I could have already had one. At the beginning of the year, I was like, first 3 months in, by the third month, I want to have one. I haven't yet. But I am taking care of business, and before the end of the year, I'll get a laptop. I'm not going to mess with another tablet. I don't care if it's got a keyboard on it. I want an actual computer with the ability, and then a better camera thing that I can take out with me, like whether it be a phone or an actual camera, do some filming, bring it back. I can take the time to sit down on a computer and learn how to edit and do better content. But until then, you get what you get. And you know, I'm Mr. Cloud here, old gray cloud. I'm shooting straight from the hip, and I ain't gonna bull crap nobody. So until next time, Mr. Cloud, say to the eternal moment, over and out. Ditto.